everybody was like, oh my God, this is the new formula. And we're going to continue to test this experiment with this guy.
What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, we have been waiting with bated breaths for some Khamzat Chimaev news, and we got something.
That's right.
We got a fight announcement. He's going to be fighting Jingliang in his return to the octagon. It's going to be in October, so a little longer than we had anticipated, but still in 2021. We're going to get to see him in the fall, and really against a very tough guy. I mean, a guy that just absolutely put Santiago Ponzinibbio out.
Yeah.
Somebody who was a super tough competitor and somebody who we thought was a contender at one point.
Yeah, I mean, Jingliang is great. I love him. He's a interesting character. I like the fight name, the Leech, and he's tough as nails. Khamzat Chimaev is so interesting. When he came out and he fought for the first time, and then 9 days later he's fighting again, and then only 60 or 70 days after that, if I'm wrong, it was 80, after that he's fighting again, and he's got 3 wins in the UFC in 2 divisions, all in a matter of a couple months.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh my God, this is the new formula, and we're going to continue to test this experiment with this guy. And then it came to a screeching halt, and the COVID problems that he had were worse than a lot of people, especially people in his athletic, his
ability, his output. I mean, I think that was what it was. He just was trying to get back to too much too fast, and he ended up setting himself back a little bit. Yeah, when you're a high-level athlete, that category of people tend to get sick very rarely, and when they do, it's in and out of their system. But this COVID has been a little bit weird for some people, really bad for others, and he definitely got the worst end of it. So I'm happy to see that he's healthy, he's able to train like he likes to, which is clearly like a madman, and he's ready to go again. Everybody was throwing these huge names at him: Nick Diaz or Leon Edwards. These were the names. And now that he kind of cooled down and he kind of got ice cold for a second, because everybody's like, well, if he's not going to fight, then we're just going to have to move on. We'll find another guy that's scary with a Russian accent and a chin beard to get behind Islam Makhachev being that. And but I feel like Jingliang is the perfect guy for him to come back to sort of build that star again. I feel like he fell a little bit, and now if he does this and then he runs a couple of more fights again, he'll be right back in that top 3, top 5, either at 185 or 170 conversation again. Yeah, and Lee's a tough guy. I mean, like I said, he's 4-1 in his last 5. He just knocked out Ponzinibbio. He's only ever been submitted. Almost all of his losses are by decision, never been knocked out. So you're talking about a guy that's extremely tough to finish against a guy who does nothing but smash people. Yeah. Very interesting fight. I'm leaning towards Khamzat, obviously, to win this. Yeah. I think Khamzat Chimaev is as good as advertised. I think he's going to get his opportunity later this year to prove that. Hopefully he can get this one done and then get one more in 2021 to kind of set up a big year next year for him. But what's very interesting is we have the return of Alexander Gustafsson. And we know him and Khamzat live, they train at the same gym. Yeah. Khamzat lives at the gym. He's preparing Alex for his comeback. What a great training partner. What a great sparring partner. Yeah. I mean, that's his main training partner, a guy who competes 2 weight divisions above where Khamzat's natural weight sort of falls. So I think that he's getting some of the best training that you can get. He's already got the skills. The wrestling is incredible. The top pressure is insane. I do think it will be too much for Jingliang. But then on top of that, his punching power, as we saw on display against Gerald Mears' chart, is he has one punch KO power, which is very scary, because normally you see a guy like Islam and Khabib, they're not that their striking is bad, and Islam's striking has certainly come a long way, but you don't think of them as a guy like Derek Lewis where he can just put your lights out with one shot. Yeah. Khamzat appears to have that. He does. And have the grappling, so it's going to be a very tough fight against a guy who's extremely hard to finish, so something's going to have to give, and I don't think that we should discount how big of a feat it will be if Khamzat finishes Lee here, because this is a guy that has never been knocked out.
Yeah, this is really it's a great fight, and I love that the UFC is giving Li Jingliang the opportunity, because any fight Khamzat's in right now is a big fight. He could very well be main eventing, free fight nights and UFC Fight Pass cards, and very soon is going to be one of the marquee names in main events on pay-per-view. So this is a big night for Li Jingliang, and that's what I love about the UFC. They might have a star on their hands with Khamzat Chimaev, but make no mistake about it, they're always trying to make more stars. And if Li Jingliang proves that he's better than Khamzat Chimaev on that night, then they're going to take him and run with him and see how far his star can go. You're right about the Gustafsson training. That's really, really going to be a big part of this. I think not just for this fight, but for many fights to come. Gustafsson just went with Verdum. At heavyweight, and nobody's going to get out of a submission lock from Verdum. Right. That just doesn't happen. You just have to chalk it up as the better man won that night.
The ADCC heavyweight, if he gets you in a sub, you're gonna be tapping.
Yeah, you're gonna be tapping. Period. In the story. But I think Gustafsson, the return of Gustafsson and the return of Khamzat, it's going to be really cool to see that gym kind of get hot again, because they were really hot at one point, that with Gustafsson, the way he was competing, and then cooled down a little bit, and then they got really hot again with Khamzat, and now they've had to cool down a little bit. But these two guys coming back together around the same time is really something special. I think that there's going to be some good energy in the gym for them. I think Khamzat Chimaev is still a star. I would love to see him do a little bit of work on the feet and then the ground. The first couple fights, it was all just vicious ground and pound, and then we saw the 17-second knockout at Gerald Meerschaert. So I want to see a good little mix. I think Li Jingliang is capable of giving us a good counterpart to a Khamzat fight. He's not just going to get rolled over. He might get beat up, but I think there's going to be some blood coming out of Khamzat's face as well. And like he says, he loves the boxing. But it's very scary when you're fighting somebody like him, who's as good as he is on the ground, that is not afraid whatsoever of a takedown attempt. Because what do you want to do? You want to take Khamzat to the ground? Good luck with that. So he comes forward with this ridiculous pressure, and has really good hands and really good kicks, and mixes things up really well with his striking. He'll send a body kick and then go for a double leg takedown, which is just like, you don't see people do stuff like that. So I love the ability he has of mixing the martial arts, because he's so good both on the ground and on the feet. And this fight screams fight of the night.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see it happen.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Drop us a comment and let us know how you think this fight between Khamzat and Li Jingliang is going to play out. And if Khamzat's going to win, where's he going next year? Is he going to get a chance at the title in 2022? We'd love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on whether or not you think he is, in fact, the real deal. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed, we always appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you listen to audio podcasts, check us out where you listen to those as well. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Peace.